Hello, Golden State Warriors fan. We're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates. First of all, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's crucial for you to stay informed with the news daily. Without further ado, let's get to the news. Rumors are starting to swirl around the Golden State Warriors organization. And if the whispers are true, the future of Steve Kerr might be hanging by a thread. Sources close to the team have allegedly started discussing internal dissatisfaction, hinting that management is growing restless with the current trajectory of the franchise. Kerr, who has been at the helm for over a decade, has led the team to multiple championships, and yet, as the pressure mounts, questions are being raised about his ability to navigate the ever-evolving NBA landscape. The tension within the locker room is reportedly palpable, with players noticing subtle changes in how meetings are conducted and how strategy sessions are approached. Some insiders claim that front office executives are evaluating potential replacements behind closed doors, signaling that the organization might be preparing for a seismic shift. Speculation is especially fueled by recent playoff disappointments, where the Warriors' performance seemed inconsistent, leaving fans and analysts wondering if Kerr's leadership can withstand another intense postseason grind. Even casual observers have picked up on nuances during press conferences, reading between the lines of his measured responses, interpreting them as signs of frustration, pressure, and perhaps looming instability. Social media, of course, has been aflame with speculation, amplifying the narrative that a change may be imminent, with fan communities divided over whether this would be a bold move or a misstep. While nothing has been officially announced, the buzz is enough to spark heated debates across sports networks, podcasts, and YouTube channels, where analysts dissect every press statement, every practice clip, every subtle shift in Kerr's demeanor. The rumor mill, notoriously unpredictable, continues to churn, feeding on snippets of information that may or may not hold weight, creating a storm of anticipation that no one inside or outside the Warriors universe seems willing to ignore, leaving everyone on edge as the offseason approaches with unprecedented uncertainty. The notion that a figure like Steve Kerr could be on the verge of dismissal is shaking the basketball community to its core, given his storied history with the Warriors. His coaching philosophy, often praised for balancing analytics with player intuition, has been instrumental in crafting one of the most dominant dynasties of the modern era. Kerr's ability to manage personalities like Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green has long been considered a hallmark of his tenure, blending discipline with creative freedom on the court. Yet, some insiders argue that the league's evolving strategic trends, along with the physical toll on key players, have exposed vulnerabilities in Kerr's system that opponents now exploit more effectively. Speculation suggests that management might be eyeing a fresh perspective, someone who can bring a different energy or approach to both the locker room and the front office relationship. Meanwhile, the players themselves are reportedly maintaining professionalism, but whispers suggest private conversations hint at uncertainty regarding the coach's future. Analysts across platforms are dissecting every detail, from Kerr's press conferences to his timeout patterns during games, attempting to identify signs that corroborate the rumored shakeup. Fan reactions are polarized, with loyal supporters defending Kerr's legacy, while others suggest that a bold change could reinvigorate a team that seems to have plateaued. Even former NBA figures are weighing in on podcasts, offering cryptic commentary that fuels speculation rather than calming it. The sports media ecosystem thrives on such uncertainty, generating endless loops of rumor, opinion, and analysis, feeding a narrative that becomes increasingly difficult to distinguish from fact. As the offseason looms, insiders warn that decisions of this magnitude rarely happen overnight, hinting at a complex internal evaluation process that could determine whether Kerr's chapter with the Warriors ends abruptly or continues amidst evolving expectations. The rumor alone, however unverified, has managed to dominate headlines, making it almost impossible for fans, analysts, and stakeholders to ignore the potential reality that a revolutionary coach might be stepping away from a team that he helped define, forever altering the narrative of Golden State basketball in the process. According to the chatter circulating among insiders, the friction appears to extend beyond wins and losses, touching on philosophy, strategy, and long-term vision. Some reports claim that the front office has expressed concern about Kerr's adaptability in a league increasingly dominated by pace, three-point reliance, and advanced defensive schemes. While Kerr has historically been lauded for embracing analytics, critics argue that recent decisions on rotations and in-game adjustments reveal cracks that opposing teams have exploited. There are murmurs that certain executives are dissatisfied with how the team handles young talent development, believing that the transition from the Warriors' championship core to a new generation may require a coach with a different skill set. The rumor intensifies when considering the financial and branding implications of a coaching change, with ownership likely weighing the short-term risk against the potential long-term benefit of a fresh approach. Observers point to subtle hints, like changes in Kerr's demeanor during interviews and the timing of staff meetings, as suggestive of an underlying tension. Social media platforms amplify these signals exponentially, with every statement analyzed, every tweet scrutinized, and every insider tip dissected for credibility. Podcasts, forums, and YouTube channels dedicated to NBA rumors are buzzing, creating an echo chamber where speculation and partial truths merge into compelling, if unverified, narratives. Fans, meanwhile, oscillate between shock, disbelief, and grudging acceptance, aware that professional sports are often dictated as much by internal politics as by court performance. Even some former players who have worked under Kerr are weighing in cautiously, noting the complexity of coaching such a high-profile roster while maintaining harmony among superstar egos. The rumor's persistence, even without official confirmation, creates a pressure cooker environment that is bound to affect every facet of the franchise's off-season planning. Analysts note that the potential impact extends beyond basketball alone, touching sponsorships, fan engagement, and media coverage, meaning that a coaching change would reverberate across the entire sports ecosystem, creating ripple effects that could redefine the Warriors' identity for years to come. Another angle feeding the speculation is the reported tension between Kerr and certain front office executives, who allegedly desire more influence over player usage, rotations, and strategic planning. While Kerr has traditionally enjoyed a high degree of autonomy, insiders claim there are subtle conflicts arising over how to balance immediate competitive success with long-term roster evolution. Some rumors suggest that the ownership group is frustrated with playoff inconsistencies, interpreting them as evidence that the team may have plateaued under Kerr's methodology. The notion of change for progress is being floated in private meetings, with conversations centering on whether a new coaching voice could unlock latent potential among the roster's younger members. Social media amplifies every whisper, with fan accounts, podcasts, and YouTube analysts dissecting every angle, creating a pressure cooker environment in which even minor hints are magnified into headline-worthy speculation. The narrative paints Kerr as a respected but embattled figure, facing scrutiny not only from the front office, but also from media narratives and the relentless pace of modern professional sports. Interviews with former players, current analysts, and NBA historians add depth to the rumor, suggesting that while Kerr's legacy is secure, legacy does not always safeguard a coach from organizational shifts. Even subtle behaviors, such as the timing of team meetings, tone in press conferences, and sideline interactions, are being read as potential indicators of unrest. While no official statements have been made, the mere suggestion of change has spurred heated debates across forums, podcasts, and YouTube channels, each community offering its own interpretation of Kerr's standing within the franchise. The rumor, persistent and unverified, has become a narrative of its own, shaping fan expectations, media coverage, and insider discussions in ways that could ultimately influence the franchise's trajectory, regardless of whether the dismissal actually occurs. Analysts note that the mere presence of speculation can affect player psychology, media narratives, and even sponsor confidence, creating a ripple effect that underscores the high stakes involved in any potential coaching decision. The whispers surrounding Steve Kerr's future are further fueled by an apparent shift in team culture, as observed in subtle changes during practices, interviews, and team interactions. Insiders claim that there is an increased focus on accountability, metrics, and performance evaluation, perhaps signaling management's desire to reassess the team's direction. While such adjustments could be part of standard off-season protocol, the timing aligns conveniently with the rumor of Kerr's potential dismissal, intensifying speculation. Observers note that even minor deviations in routine, like changes in coaching assignments, assistant rotations, or strategy meetings, are being magnified into narrative evidence that the franchise is contemplating a major shakeup. Podcasts, fan forums, and YouTube channels dedicated to NBA analysis have seized on these observations, often creating elaborate timelines and hypothetical scenarios that suggest a Kerr exit could be imminent. Analysts dissect every statement Kerr makes, from press briefings to post-game comments, searching for hidden cues or signs of tension, interpreting measured responses as subtle indicators of uncertainty. Former players who have interacted with Kerr provide context, noting his historically calm and composed demeanor, which contrasts sharply with the speculation suggesting internal unrest. While no formal announcements have been made, the rumor has already begun to shape public perception, influencing conversations around team strategy, potential successors, and a future trajectory of a franchise long associated with dominance. The uncertainty surrounding Kerr has sparked polarized reactions among fans. Some defend his legacy, emphasizing past successes and loyalty, while others argue that a fresh perspective could revitalize a team perceived as stagnating. Even media coverage reflects this duality, with respected analysts weighing historical achievements against current performance, creating a dynamic environment where speculation is amplified in a headline news. Social media further accelerates this effect, with every minor leak, insider tip, or analyst opinion rapidly circulating, ensuring that Kerr's rumored departure dominates the discourse in a manner that few other sports stories can. As the offseason approaches, insiders suggest that deliberations are intensifying behind closed doors, and while the outcome remains uncertain, the rumor alone has already left a significant mark on the franchise, fan expectations, and media narratives surrounding Golden State basketball. Reports indicate that the potential removal of Kerr is not just about wins and losses, but also about vision, long-term strategy, and adaptability to an evolving NBA landscape. Some speculate that executives are seeking a coach who can integrate new offensive trends, defensive innovations, and youth development priorities while maintaining elite-level competitiveness. This narrative has fueled intense debate across social media platforms, with fans, analysts, and former players weighing in, each interpreting subtle indicators to support their theories about the franchise's next step. Even casual observers note a difference in how press conferences are handled, with Kerr's measured approach being read as either thoughtful leadership or a sign of mounting pressure. Speculation intensifies when considering possible successors, with numerous names rumored, each promising distinct strategic philosophies and leadership styles, further complicating predictions. The rumor has generated a feedback loop in which the speculation itself becomes news, dominating coverage even in the absence of verified information. Podcasts dissect potential scenarios, from immediate performance implications to long-term cultural shifts within the team, while YouTube channels create detailed breakdowns of tactical adjustments that could accompany a new coaching regime. Fan forums explode with discussions, theories, and emotional reactions, highlighting the influence of rumors on public perception. Even insiders caution that the mere suggestion of a coaching change can affect morale, player negotiations, and sponsorship dynamics, illustrating the broader impact beyond the court. While Kerr's legacy remains intact, the persistent speculation creates an environment of uncertainty, shaping expectations for the offseason, influencing narratives, and keeping fans and media alike intensely focused on what may or may not happen. Analysts note that such scenarios can redefine franchises, leaving lasting impressions on team identity, historical legacy, and the complex ecosystem of professional basketball, underscoring the weight that a rumored Kerr dismissal carries in both tangible and intangible ways. The ongoing speculation regarding Steve Kerr's potential departure from the Golden State Warriors continues to dominate conversations across the NBA landscape, with insiders suggesting that even small, seemingly inconsequential events could be interpreted as signs of impending change. Observers point to shifts in assistant coaching roles, subtle adjustments in practice schedules, and even Kerr's interactions with media representatives as possible indicators that management is actively evaluating alternatives. Some reports hint that executives are considering candidates who bring a more analytical, data-driven approach to in-game decision-making, reflecting the league's evolution toward technology-assisted strategy. Fans on social media are dissecting every press conference, every timeout, and even body language during games, creating a near-constant cycle of analysis and rumor that feeds itself with each new observation. Analysts on YouTube channels dedicated to NBA rumors dissect these developments in real time, offering theories about how Kerr's possible dismissal could impact rotations, player roles, and locker room morale. The chatter also speculates about the potential ripple effects on star players like Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, exploring how a coaching transition might alter their approach to leadership, shot selection, and engagement with younger teammates. Even former Warriors players are weighing in cautiously, noting that while Kerr's legacy is secure, the nature of professional sports often subjects even celebrated coaches to organizational shifts that reflect broader strategic priorities rather than individual performance alone. As the rumor persists, the media ecosystem amplifies every minor leak or insider tip, ensuring that the narrative remains at the forefront of fan discourse, creating an environment in which speculation shapes perception, expectations, and even the psychological landscape of the team itself, leaving everyone in suspense as the franchise navigates this uncertain chapter. Insiders suggest that management discussions may involve weighing the potential benefits of a coaching change against the risks of disrupting a historically successful team culture. Kerr's tenure has been marked by a delicate balance between structure and player freedom, a formula that produced multiple championships but may now be under scrutiny in light of evolving league dynamics. Some rumors posit that the front office is looking for a fresh voice capable of implementing more aggressive defensive schemes, optimizing offensive spacing, or better integrating emerging talent into the rotation. Analysts and fans alike are exploring scenarios in which the Warriors might embrace a shift in style, pondering whether a new approach could reinvigorate both performance and fan engagement. Social media discussion threads, YouTube breakdowns, and podcasts continue to speculate on timing, with some suggesting that the offseason provides the perfect window for a high-profile transition. Meanwhile, Kerr maintains a composed public demeanor, delivering measured responses during press conferences that insiders interpret in varying ways, either as confidence, strategy, or subtle acknowledgement of internal pressures. The rumor's persistence has elevated its importance, making it difficult for stakeholders, from players to fans to sponsors, to separate conjecture from reality. Even minor leaks or analyst commentary are amplified into headlines, reflecting the intensity with which the sports ecosystem reacts to potential organizational upheaval. Some argue that a coaching change could refresh the team's approach, while others caution that altering a dynasty's core philosophy risks destabilizing established chemistry. Regardless of the outcome, the swirling speculation around Kerr has transformed the offseason narrative into a tense, high-stakes drama, where every decision, statement, and gesture is scrutinized through the lens of possibility, creating an ongoing story that captivates fans and analysts alike and underscores the intricate interplay between rumor, perception, and professional basketball strategy. Reports also indicate that the players themselves are sensitive to the swirling rumors, with insiders hinting at private discussions regarding team direction, leadership, and the potential impact of a coaching transition. While publicly maintaining professionalism, subtle signs in interviews, practice behavior, and sideline interactions suggest that the uncertainty surrounding Kerr's future is resonating within the locker room. Analysts speculate that the dynamic could influence not only on-court performance, but also off-court cohesion, as star players navigate questions about continuity, trust, and evolving strategic philosophies. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. Speculation intensifies when considering potential successors, with insiders hinting at a range of candidates from experienced NBA coaches to rising stars with innovative approaches. Analysts on podcasts and YouTube have created elaborate breakdowns of each rumored coach's style, predicting how rotations, offensive schemes, and defensive strategies might shift under new leadership. The uncertainty fuels debate over whether transition would revitalize the team's championship window or disrupt the chemistry that has long defined the Warriors' identity. Social media amplifies every morsel of information, with fan theories, insider leaks, and analyst speculation forming a continuous cycle of rumor and counter-rumor. Reports suggest management is evaluating the balance between immediate competitiveness and long-term strategic evolution, a calculus complicated by player contracts, market expectations, and the broader NBA landscape. Even minor behavioral cues, such as Kerr's press conference tone or sideline demeanor, are scrutinized as potential signs of internal pressure. Former players and analysts weigh in cautiously, acknowledging Kerr's historic contributions while recognizing that professional sports organizations often prioritize adaptability and innovation over legacy alone. The rumor has grown beyond mere speculation, influencing media narratives, fan perceptions, and even potential strategic decisions within the franchise, underscoring how powerful and pervasive the effects of unconfirmed reports can be in shaping the trajectory of a team. As the off-season progresses, every interaction, statement, and observation is filtered through the lens of possibility, creating an environment in which anticipation, uncertainty, and rumor dominate the narrative surrounding the Warriors and their embattled head coach. Even the media's treatment of the situation highlights the power of speculation in shaping public perception. Analysts dissect every detail of Kerr's career, his interactions with players, and his recent press appearances, framing each moment as potential evidence of internal tension. YouTube channels have developed extensive content, blending analysis with narrative storytelling, creating immersive explorations of what a post-Kerr Warriors team could look like. Fan communities thrive on this speculation, with debate threads running continuously, fueled by social media snippets and leaked reports that may or may not be verified. The narrative is self-perpetuating. Rumor generates commentary. Commentary generates further rumor, and the cycle intensifies with every passing day. Even those traditionally cautious about speculation find themselves drawn into the discussion, recognizing that the potential departure of a coach of Kerr's stature is inherently compelling. The broader implications, ranging from player morale to fan engagement, sponsorships, and the historical legacy of the franchise, ensure that the rumor resonates well beyond the court. Analysts note that the mere suggestion of a change has already affected off-season planning, internal discussions, and the public narrative, underscoring the extraordinary influence of perception in professional sports. Whether or not Kerr is ultimately dismissed, the sustained speculation has created an atmosphere of tension, curiosity, and debate, elevating the story into one of the most closely watched narratives in recent NBA history, demonstrating the interplay between rumor, media amplification, and fan engagement in shaping the discourse around elite-level basketball franchises. Rumors further suggest that the timing of any potential decision could be critical, with insiders speculating that ownership might wait until key off-season evaluations are complete. This strategic patience would allow for a more deliberate assessment of player development, contract negotiations, and potential coaching candidates, reflecting the complex calculus required when considering a high-profile change. Analysts emphasize that the ripple effects of a coaching change are significant, influencing not only rotations and play style, but also locker room culture, player satisfaction, and organizational identity. Social media debates continue to amplify the tension, with every insider tip, tweet, and interview snippet interpreted as either confirmation or contradiction of the rumored plan. YouTube content creators develop speculative simulations, exploring how hypothetical coaching shifts could impact offensive spacing, defensive schemes, and the utilization of star talent. Fan forums are filled with impassioned arguments, with loyalty, legacy, and innovation all weighed against one another in the ongoing discussion. Former players, coaches, and analysts contribute to the discourse, offering perspectives that blend historical context with tactical insight. Even casual observers are drawn into the narrative, interpreting media coverage and press conference behavior for hidden meaning. Regardless of the eventual outcome, the rumor itself has already shaped perceptions, created anticipation, and dominated conversation, demonstrating the powerful role that speculation plays in the modern sports media ecosystem. Analysts caution that such speculation has tangible consequences, influencing everything from ticket sales to sponsorship confidence, illustrating the multifaceted impact of a high-profile coaching narrative in professional basketball. The persistent whispers about Kerr's future have ignited creative speculation around possible strategic innovations under a new coach. Analysts project shifts in rotation patterns, defensive alignment, and offensive schemes, debating how a change could maximize the strengths of Curry, Thompson, and Green while integrating emerging talent. Social media amplifies these predictions, with fans and content creators generating scenarios, simulations, and statistical projections that blur the line between rumor and analytical exploration. Insider accounts suggest that front office deliberations are intense, weighing historical performance, adaptability, and leadership qualities against the backdrop of evolving league trends. Even minor behavioral cues from Kerr, press conference phrasing, timeout patterns, and sideline interactions are scrutinized for hints of internal pressure, fueling further speculation. Podcasts and YouTube analyses offer layered interpretations, discussing potential outcomes ranging from immediate performance shifts to long-term cultural changes. The narrative surrounding Kerr has grown beyond simple conjecture, influencing player psychology, fan sentiment, and media framing, creating an ecosystem in which speculation shapes reality, at least perceptually. Former players contribute perspectives that contextualize the rumor, highlighting the delicate balance between maintaining legacy and adapting to league evolution. The story of Kerr's potential dismissal has evolved into a multifaceted discussion, blending tactical analysis, emotional engagement, and organizational speculation, demonstrating how a single rumor can dominate discourse, influence perception, and shape the narrative arc of a professional basketball franchise, leaving fans and analysts alike captivated, divided, and constantly reassessing the future of one of the NBA's most iconic coaching figures. Every new rumor, whether originating from an anonymous insider or interpreted from subtle media cues, adds layers of complexity to the ongoing saga surrounding Steve Kerr. Analysts suggest that the combination of playoff expectations, roster dynamics, and league evolution creates a high-stakes environment in which the margin for error is minimal and coaching decisions are scrutinized intensely. Fan communities dissect every detail, from practice habits to press conference phrasing, amplifying the speculation and creating a feedback loop that further drives rumor proliferation. YouTube channels offer visual breakdowns of potential coaching impacts, simulating rotations, defensive schemes, and offensive adjustments under hypothetical successors. Former players and coaches provide context, blending historical perspective with tactical analysis, adding credibility and nuance to the rumor. Social media engagement ensures that every minor hint circulates rapidly, making the speculation near impossible to ignore for the broader audience. Even casual observers are drawn in, interpreting statements and actions for hidden meaning, contributing to the collective anticipation and anxiety surrounding the rumored decision. The media landscape thrives on such speculation, and the sustained attention has transformed the rumor into a quasi-narrative with tangible influence on public perception, player morale, and strategic planning. Regardless of whether Kerr is ultimately dismissed, the ongoing discourse illustrates the extraordinary power of rumor and speculation in shaping the narrative arc of professional basketball, demonstrating that in the modern NBA, perception often rivals reality in significance, creating a story that captivates fans, challenges analysts, and keeps the league's most iconic franchises in the spotlight. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.